How could have Jiraiya survived his battle against Pain while still collecting the intel that the real Nagato wasn't among the Pain bodies? Hello everyone, I am the Daigonite, and this is Overanalyzed, a series where I nitpick and overanalyze scenes and battle tactics. And before we dive deep, make sure you like and subscribe. This helps me a lot and makes sure that you will get the videos in the future. So when Jiraiya was inside his frog's belly, after being cornered by the 6 paths of pain, he knew he would 100% die if he left the frog's belly and went to investigate whether Nagato was actually among them or not. He was heavily wounded, missing an arm, and outmatched by the 6 paths, so why not send a shadow clone to investigate, Jiraiya? That would have solved all the problems. We know shadow clones absorb knowledge and transfer that knowledge back to the original caster after they disappear. We see that most prominently in Naruto's Rasen Shuriken training, but they could be very useful to gather information that's very risky to get and would most likely get somebody killed, but sending in a shadow clone would solve all these problems because you retain the knowledge and you wouldn't die. So why didn't Jiraiya do that? Well, simple. Kishimoto had to kill him for many reasons, from a story perspective, from narrative reasons. And don't get me wrong, I love Jiraiya and I like the way his death was executed. I have no problems with that. But my job in this video is to point out his tactical mistakes in-universe. You could claim many in-universe reasons for him not using a shadow clone. First, he may not know the shadow clone jutsu, which I find very unlikely. If Kiba can do shadow clones, Jiraiya most likely can produce them as well. You could also claim that he was low on chakra, but that was not really the case. For one, he was still in Sage mode provided by Fukasaku, and he had no problem summoning a new frog and using Rasengan to defeat the animal path. So he definitely had enough chakra at least to produce one shadow clone. Also, we know shadow clones can go as far away from the original as they please, and we know that after seeing Naruto's shadow clones in the war arc going all across the world, so distance or line of sight on a shadow clone wouldn't be a problem. Lastly, you could argue that Jiraiya couldn't weave the shadow clone jutsu hand signs, as he just lost an arm. However, we know that people can combine their hands in order to weave hand signs, and Sasuke can even weave the shadow clone hand sign with one hand. So Jiraiya could have easily used Fukasaku's hand to cast a shadow clone, using his hand to complete the hand sign. And we have a precedent for a ninja combining his hand signs with a summoning in order to make a jutsu. When Naruto was fighting Gaara, he weaved the hand signs for the transformation jutsu, but Gamabunta transformed, and he transformed into the Kyuubi. They didn't necessarily share their hands to do the hand sign the way I'm suggesting Jiraiya could have done in order to survive, but it's a precedent that the summoner can actually cast the jutsu for the summon, and Jiraiya could have done something similar, combining hand signs in order to make a shadow clone in that situation where he only had one arm. Essentially, what Jiraiya should have done was to send in a shadow clone, find out Pain's secret, then his shadow clone would be easily defeated, but that doesn't really matter. Jiraiya would have the information about Pain, and then he would be able to flee the Rain village inside the belly of his frog, as he said he could have done if he wanted to. And Fukasaku also confirmed that later. Easy. So much for being a master infiltrator, Jiraiya. This is just me nitpicking, of course. His death was something very important and significant to the narrative, and I know why Jiraiya had to die at that time. And I love the way Kishimoto finished his arc. So if you came this far, comment down below how could have Jiraiya survived in possibly other ways, or how could have him beaten Pain even. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.